for hanging out this evening. I know we got all the regulars in here. I'm sure to get out of control, and that's the way we like it. So let's dive into let's dive into it, Tim. Let's start off with these jersey number changes as everybody's kind of settling into their new digs here. And man, this is going to be a blast to see this young class. It's almost like we had an extra draft just now.
Yeah.
And I know we gave up 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons, but the fact that you're getting a top 3, definitely top 5 at his position, there's no, well, we got to let him develop, and will he be a stud? We know Micah Parsons is a stud, so that's really, really exciting. I know the last time we spoke about it, you and I were very, very concerned that the talking heads, the media guys who were saying give 3 firsts and Rashawn Gary, that was going to be a reality.
Right.
So glad we settled in at 2 firsts and obviously offloading Kenny Clark's contract here after the cap penalty this year. But
yeah, absolutely. You got to tip your cap to Gangster Goody, right? I mean, for pulling this off. I was the first guy that said don't auction off the farm for Micah. But at the same time, understanding that, he would fall into that category of generational talent, right? Let's be real here. And the biggest thing that I was on was don't give up Rashawn and a bunch of picks, and don't give up. We even heard Romeo Dobbs. We heard all kinds of players possibly involved in a trade compensation. Leave it to Brian Gutekunst, man. Just come in there and 2 firsts and Kenny Clark. If you ask me, man, who won the trade? I think the Packers probably slightly, but I think Dallas did okay too. They get a guy in the middle in Kenny Clark that's a veteran that can go in there and start right away, and they got 2 first-round picks. So, and we got Micah Parsons along with Rashawn and LVN and Brenton Cox Jr. and Kingsley and Igbare, and the guys we have in the middle. So there's a lot to be excited about for sure.
Yeah, and I definitely lean towards Micah or the Green Bay Packers having the favor in that trade, not by as much as our fans want to lead on, but also Dallas fans, man, they went straight from there's no way we're giving him up for less than 4 first-round picks. Then you get him for 2 and Kenny, and all of a sudden it's Micah's a bum. Like we didn't want him anyway. He's a locker room pro. All these things that you never heard before from Cowboy fans, which is hilarious. But yeah, I don't think it's as one-sided as both fan bases try to make it out to be. Most of the time, these good trades means it's good for both sides. Although I can't get on board with what Jerry's doing because it's such an important position.
Yeah.
And if your goal is to field the best player, the best team possible and you want to start with the nucleus, you want to start with the players at the positions of most important. And I'm telling you, man, edge and 3-tech are at the top of the heap on defense. He had one of the best edge defenders, and he just traded him away. So now he could take those 2 firsts, albeit they should be on the backside of the first round, unless something crazy, wrong happens here for the Packers this season. But you're not going to find a Micah Parsons at the bottom of the first round anytime soon, I don't think. So
no, absolutely not. That's why we got to love it, right? The advantage to being a Packer fan, right? We don't have an owner. We've got a board, we've got fans that are owners, and we've got a general manager. And I think throughout this process, I think to guys like Ed Policy and Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley, who kind of supportingly played the background, as they said, during this process. And then we had Russ Ball figuring out the numbers, and you got to credit your organization for pulling this off. This is probably going to go down as one of the greatest trades in Packer history, I think, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's go through it here. The jersey number changes. It was announced today that for the first time in 99 years, the number 1 will be worn. It's going to be worn by Micah Parsons. See, when I went on my private tour of Lambeau the last time I was up there and talking with a couple of historians there in Green Bay, they said nobody ever wears number 1 because it's set aside for Curly Lambeau. Curly Lambeau wore it it was either 1 year or just a couple of years before he switched he's had like 4 different numbers.
Sure.
Right.
Kind of the times back then, right? Everyone just wore what the hell they had, right?
Right. So rather than try to pick which number do we retire, this and that, so what the historian told me was they took the number 1, set it aside for Lambeau, although it's not technically retired. So I think it's awesome that they allowed Micah Parsons to wear number 1. And I think, as Jen said earlier in the chat, Curly Lambeau would be damn proud to let him wear number 1. So going to be awesome to see that.
Absolutely. And Bird gets to keep 11, right? There was no
Correct.
issue with Jaden Reed having to come off of that number. And hey, let's be honest, we named the new city stadium after Curly Lambeau, right? You got Lambeau
Right.
for you. I think we're okay with Micah wearing number 1. I think it's awesome. Really do. Really like it.
All right, moving along. Matthew Golden is switching from 22 to 0. I like this
Here's a
one.
guy.
I like this. That right there, dude. That's now I like 22 as well. I thought that was cool. It was unique for a receiver, but 0 suits him, I think, man. This is going to be awesome. I love what the Packers said here. Agent 0. You got to love that.
You
Love
do.
every
You know why you picked 0?
how's that?
I've got a feeling it's how many drops he's going to have this year, guys.
Mm, I like it. I like it. So Matthew Golden will be wearing number 0. And then here's the other numbers that change. So obviously Micah Parsons, number 1. You got Matthew Golden, 0. Emmanuel Wilson is switching to 23. I like that, Tim. I liked him at 31, don't get me wrong, but 23, I immediately think of Jordan. I think of one of the greatest ever, right?
Yeah.
And no better way to help us continue to get over the fact that Jair is no longer a Packer than just watching Emmanuel Wilson slice and dice through the secondary, running the rock there, wearing number 23. What do you think about that? 23 for Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah, I love it because I was just as excited when Emmanuel Wilson came into the league and rocked the 31 and made me think of Jim Taylor. It was cool to see 31 carrying the ball again. But let's be honest, this day and age, numbers are kind of all over the place, right? It's kind of the new era of football, and maybe we'll see 31 out there in the secondary or something on the defensive side of the ball. But 23 for Emmanuel Wilson, I like it. It's time, right? It's time. I think if he wants it, let's go. We've seen 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s carrying the football, and you see Izzy Abinakanda there right behind him grabbing AJ Dillon's old 28 too in the backfield. I'm cool with that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and it kind of tells you everything you need to know with Isaiah Simmons gone now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he signed somewhere, but if he didn't, there's probably no chance of him coming back on the practice squad or anything like that. So just kind of turn the page on that. So again, those are your jersey number changes. Matthew Golden 0, Micah Parsons 1, Emmanuel Wilson 23, and Izzy Abanaconda at number 28. Now Tucker Kraft, Tim, got tagged in this tweet from Pro Football Hall of Fame ambassador earlier today over on X, and he said, Tucker Kraft, Packers tight end, in 2024, Kraft led all qualifying NFL tight ends by averaging 0.32 avoided tackles per reception. So, according to statistics, and again, we talked about YAC, we've talked about, this specific metric right here as well in terms of, avoiding tackles per reception. There's a case to be made that Tucker Kraft might be the best yards after catch tight end in the entire league. I don't think he's the most well-rounded, but that's definitely his superpower, is catching the rock and running through people's faces, and also creating separation. Whether you want to credit Matt LaFleur for that, or you want to credit Tucker Kraft for that, my man is making things happen. I thought this is a cool stat. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I love it, and I love your point about crediting Matt and Tucker equally. I think I'd go 50-50, right? Tucker's a grinder. We talk about Tuck Norris being the Swiss Army knife. What can he not do out there on the field? And then you got Matt LaFleur, who knows how to utilize them in the offense. And, for as much as he can get out there and sift block somebody into the water cooler, he's also the guy that's going to, catch that in breaker and then bounce it outside, turn up field, and run through an MFer's face, like we say. And you got to love it, man. Absolutely. And you're right about the Yak King. I think, maybe few games to a quarter of the way through this season here, I think the league is really going to be on notice with Tucker Kraft. He's kind of been slept on really these last couple of years, other than here in Green Bay. We love Tuck Norris, but I think the league's going to be on notice this year for sure.
Yeah, 2-0 for this says Kraft getting the real Kraft mac and cheese sponsorships. I know he's been on that radar for a while. It's cool to see them communicating with him for sure. And let's see here. Jen Wright says Tucker is still my spirit animal. I love the way he plays the game, man. It's
absolutely kind of a throwback, right? He's almost a throwback to that old school hard-nosed tight end era. You got to love it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, moving along. So back to the Micah Parsons trade. I want to hit on a couple